Yo, people, welcome to the channel. Now, don't know, man. I hope you lot are doing all right. For me, not so much, man. I'm still, you know, stressing and thinking about the game, which we should have won. I look at Manchester United and I look at the way they've been playing under Ten Hag. I look at the way they've been playing since the beginning of this season, and I look at the way we actually started our season. And looking at those figures, the amount of goals we were scoring, the amount of chances we were creating, and obviously a better style of play that we have. Um, and looking at the squad as well, you look at Manchester United squad, and then you look at Chelsea squad. We have better squad. So I was thinking we should have done better this morning. So yeah, for me, man, it was just a little bit stressing because I put all those facts together, and to me, that was a recipe for a win. And I was looking at the table as well. I'm looking at we were what 2 points below? No, what 17, 20. We were actually a point behind Arsenal, and I was thinking if we had won that game, we would have been 2 points ahead of them. And what it feels like to be above Arsenal of all the teams in the league. So yeah, man, it just was a stressful game for sure. Now we are on the same points with Arsenal. They're on fifth and we're on fourth. Now, statistically, this doesn't look so bad, or we shouldn't be as angry as we should be. I guess we're just angry because it had to be United, and for 11 years or since the what 20, can't remember, but yeah, left for 11 years. We haven't won at the Stamford Bridge. I mean, sorry, at the Old Trafford. So for me, I was thinking, this is the time. If you can't beat United right now under Ruud van Nistelrooy, obviously they have their coach coming, Ruben Amorim, and if you can't beat them right now, I don't think there's any better way or better chance that you're going to get to be United. This was the best chance we could have ever get to take a win at the Old Trafford. So if it was any other team, I don't think the majority of our fan base would have been very, very angry. I think it just happened to be United, and yeah, man, and we had our chest out. We thought we were just gonna kill this man and win the match. But yeah, unfortunately, it didn't go that way. But what I want to do, I want to unpack the whole game from the beginning, starting from the coach, going to the lineup. Then we can talk about the individual performances. And then we can talk about, what this means for us going forward. Now, Enzo Maresca, listen, since the day we hired him, since the first day we saw him on the touchline, actually, since the preseason, he has impressed us so much to a point where every Chelsea fan is happy right now. Life is good. As much as we might whinge about this draw, life is good. That we cannot deny. So Enzo Maresca has brought so much happiness and joy to the Chelsea fan base. We're starting to look like the Chelsea that we knew from 4 years ago, 3 years ago when we won the Champions League under Thomas Tuchel. So I don't have any problem with Enzo Maresca. And going forward, I want to have him in my, as my calf. Now let's talk about the lineup, because there's a lot that actually pissed me off in that lineup. First of all, let's talk about Robert Sanchez. Robert Sanchez. And I can speak for every Chelsea fan when I say this. We don't want to see Robert effing Sanchez in goal going forward. We just bought Jurgensen. I know he's been playing in the Carabao Cup and Conference League. I think it's time we give him, a position in the first team in the Premier League. I think he deserves to start, especially when Sanchez is playing the way he's playing. I think he does deserve to start. Or he deserves a couple of games in there. Maybe when we play teams like, say, we're going to play Leicester City in a couple of weeks. I think after Arsenal, there's international break and then there's Leicester City. I would like him to play in that game, see how he goes. Send a message to Sanchez that if you're not serious, this position is not guaranteed for you. I remember when Enzo Maresca came, he said, every player is a squad player. There is no guarantees for any player in the team. If you don't perform, you have to go on the bench. And those players who are on the bench, when they get given the chance, they have to perform because otherwise they'll end up losing their position as well. But I don't see this philosophy applying, or I don't see the same energy goes on to Sanchez. There's so many games Sanchez has been shot, but we still see him each and every week in the Premier League. Why? Don't make me say something like I want to see him get injured, because obviously I don't want to say that. Remember last season when Petrovic had these moments, it was because Sanchez was injured. And I don't want to get to that point where Sanchez has to be injured for us to give Petrovic time. I want us to see Jurgensen to be played without even having Sanchez being injured. Because that's what you said. You said if a player is not performing, they have to go on the bench. Why can't we do the same energy for Sanchez? Why? See, that's the question every Chelsea fan wants to know. Because we are tired. Hold on. Yeah. So why can't we see Sanchez? What does he have on Enzo Maresca to your point that he can't go on the bench? That's the question I want to know. Anyway, we'll talk about Sanchez a little bit more. Let's go for the defenders. Let's go for the back four. This Malo Gusto on the right side and Reece James on the left is not fucking working. Why do we keep playing Reece James on the left side? Yes, of course, against Newcastle, it kind of worked a little bit. But we can't keep doing the same thing in each and every match. Malo Gusto, yes, you're asking him to be going forward here and there. But at the same time, when he gets forward, it's the same thing we had with Enzo Fernandez. Every time you're trying to push him up forward to play number 10. Every time you're trying to push him to end up as a 9. Malo Gusto can't create going forward. The only way he can do for us is maybe cross the ball into the box from the fullback position. That maybe he can do. But then at the same time as well, if Cucurella is fit, just fucking play Cucurella on the left. Cucurella has been one of our best players this season. If you want to play Reece James that much, just fucking bench Malo Gusto. You don't have to play two of them. See, that's my problem with it. Why do you feel like you got to play two of them at the same time? Cucurella is our best left back. Why can't he just start the game? Even Vega can also do the same thing. I don't get this obsession with wanting to play Malo Gusto and Reece James at the same time. Cucurella can play there quite all right. Put Cucurella on the left side and stop putting Reece James on the left side. If you are obsessed with not playing Malo Gusto, then maybe bench Reece James then. Stop playing Reece James on the left side. It didn't work last night. Now let's go to our center backs. Every time I feel like Koyo and Fofana are improving, they go backwards. I didn't like what they did yesterday. They were very erratic yesterday. Keep losing the ball, keep fouling. Even then, we can blame Sanchez for the penalty, but it started with the defenders. It was a through ball in. We can't keep doing this. How about we start tossing? Maybe tossing is not good enough either. But yeah, we can't keep doing this over and over and over again. Midfielders. Lavia, one of the best players Chelsea have right now. You didn't do nothing yesterday. You kept losing the ball into the midfield. You kept losing the ball into the midfield. Our best player yesterday was Caicedo, and he's a midfield. By the way, let me talk about Caicedo before we go any further. Because Caicedo has been our best player since the back end of last season. When we bought this guy, I remember a lot of people were saying we should have gone for Declan Rice. I said, are you crazy? Declan Rice is not on those levels. He is not Caicedo. Caicedo has been one of the best players in the Premier League. Yes, of course, maybe $115 million can be justified now. You have to give him his flowers. But Romeo Lavia, you've been the best as well since you came in this season. But yesterday, mate, you kept losing the ball. You kept losing the ball, kept losing the ball. And Cole Palmer, let's talk about Cole Palmer. He is our best player. And that's a fact. You can't deny that Cole Palmer is our best player. What happened yesterday, mate? Now, don't get me wrong. Like, a player is allowed to have bad moments in the game. A player is allowed to have a shitty game. A player is allowed to make mistakes. But these are the games where we need you. If you're saying you're world class, well, first of all, I don't even think he's a world class. Not as of here. He's a very good player, and I think he has potential to be a world class. But right now, I don't think he's a world class. For me to say a player is a world class, they have to do it for their country, which Cole Palmer is probably stepping into. They have to do it in the Europe. Chelsea have not been in the Europe. He has not played in the Europe yet. For Manchester City, I'm not quite sure whether he played so much, but we've never heard about him in the Champions League. So I'm not really saying he's a world class as of yet. Let him win some couple of trophies for his club, for his country, and maybe in Europe. Then maybe you can have a conversation if he's a world class. Now, does he have the potential to be a world class player? Yeah, you bet he does. But yesterday, man, I didn't see you at all. Where were you? I didn't see you. I didn't fucking see you. Now, what else should we talk about? Jackson, look, that game was just not for you. So I'm not, obviously you didn't do well at all, but I'm not gonna put it up on you because you didn't score yesterday. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that. But one thing I have to ask Maresca is why didn't we see Christopher Nkunku coming? Why didn't we see Joao Felix coming? Because that game needed someone who can break the lines. And Joao Felix has the capacity to do that. Christopher Nkunku has the capacity to drop down and actually take on his man to go and actually score. You saw what he did at Bournemouth. Why didn't we put him yesterday? Our wingers, Pedro Neto, listen, you did all right. I actually thought you did all right. Unfortunately, you should have actually scored yesterday, but it didn't happen. Maybe it just wasn't your day. Like I say, every player is allowed to have a bad game. You know what I mean? On the right side, Madueke, this guy frustrates me all the time. What's wrong with Madueke? He's a moments kind of guy, and today just wasn't his moment. So yeah, overall, the whole team yesterday really pissed me off. It wasn't the worst match ever because I think part of it was just because United didn't come to play. They didn't come. They didn't come to play football. They came to sting the whole place. I wish they did very well, and you got to give them credit. You got to give them credit because they came to sting the whole place up, and they did very, very well. So you got to give them, praise on that. But yeah, man, it was just frustrating. Now let's look at the table. We are on fourth position with 18 points, and Arsenal are on 18 points as well. Only goal difference, two goals. Now we're playing Arsenal next week. I'm expecting to win. If we want to go up the table, like I said, where we are on the table right now is actually not bad. But the problem is the team that we lost points to, which is Manchester United, is a team that every Chelsea fan wanted to beat. Every Chelsea fan wanted to stick to their face and actually take points. And the reason being as well, they've been losing games to every other team except for Chelsea. Yes, I know there's this case about the Old Trafford. I don't give a shit. I wanted my players to go there and play our game. But you know what we did? We actually went in there and played United's game. They didn't come to play football. They came to stink the whole place, and we fell into that hands. And we started playing stinking after stinking after stinking, not actually playing good football. That's the shit that pissed me off yesterday. I thought we deserved to actually go there and play the games that we've been playing. Where was our style of play yesterday? Every time we tried to make a pattern, they would break it. So I'm not actually that mad because we drop points. I'm more so mad because of the performances. Because that performance was shit. The performance was not good. It was not good at all. So like I said, We're playing Arsenal next week. I'm expecting a win there. I don't want no nonsense. I want us to win. If we win against Arsenal, we'll go on what? On 21 points, depending on what Forest and Aston Villa do. We'll go on third with maybe 2 points of Nottingham Forest, depending on what they do. I think they're playing Liverpool as well. So yeah. Let me see the matches. Nottingham Forest are playing. Oh, yeah. Nottingham Forest are playing. Oh, they play. Oh, wait, no, that's. Wait. Pause. Nottingham Forest are playing. Oh, they play Newcastle. So that's a tight game as well. I'm hoping for a draw or win. Yeah. So we're actually in a good place to actually go into, into top 3 here. And that's what I'm looking for. That's what I want. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say that. But yeah, man, it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, people. I'll be out right now, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.